Okay, let's try this one more time. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna wait for some people to pour in. How is everybody doing this morning? Everybody saw Walking Dead, I assume. Everybody's on point with everything going on. Yeah, sorry about that earlier. I know this is kind of a weird time, mostly because I know a lot of you are pretty much either just waking up or heading out to work or things like that. So normally I do these streams on Sunday, and I usually call it Sunday streaming and all that other stuff, but I guess we're doing it today. Um, but just wanted to give you guys a little update as to why there's been a lack of content and as to the whole situation that happened on Thursday night and why I had to leave in the middle of the live stream. I do apologize for that. I do apologize for leaving early um, on the Thursday night live stream. However, it was a family emergency that I had to deal with. I'm not going to get into too many details involving that simply because of privacy and things like that, but there is a reason why there has been a lack of content this past week. We've been dealing with some real rough stuff, as they say, and yeah, that's just life. You sometimes you get hit with curveballs in life, and you just got to deal with it, and that's pretty much what happened on Sunday. So. I mean, on Thursday, and that's the reason why there hasn't been that much going on with the channel. So I hope you guys can understand that, and I hope you guys respect that, and I hope you guys just respect my privacy to not go into too many questions involving what happened, because it is kind of a personal matter. But if you've got any questions or things like that, let me know in the chat, and I'll be willing to answer them. I'll be on for probably like the next 20-30 minutes. I'm kind of trying to make up for not having this stream on yesterday, because I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to it, and I know a lot of you guys is kind of like, oh man, it's great to listen to this on the car ride to work or something like that. So if you're listening to this on the car ride to work, you're kind of getting this live instead of having to hear the repeat. But yeah, it's really early. It's really, really early, ridiculously early. I'll probably end up repeating myself since more people are pouring into the chat right now. But yeah, if you're just pouring into the chat, basically, I'm just updating you guys on what's going on with the channel and as to why there's been a lack of content this past week. Simply because I know I'm probably going to say this about 3 more times. There was a family situation. If you guys were watching the live stream on Riley's channel on Thursday, you know all about the situation that happened, which I had to leave in the middle of the live stream. I had to take care of something that happened involving my family and all that other stuff. So, like I've already said, I would appreciate if you guys don't ask too many questions involving that. We're fine. Everything is fine. We're just kind of dealing with the fallout of something that happened. And that's the reason why there hasn't been too much going on with the channel right now. In fact, I had a whole bunch of other stuff planned for this week. I had Manga Mondays, which was something I was going to start this week. And the first volume that I was going to actually review for Manga Monday was going to be Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1. I actually have it, but with everything that's gone on this weekend, I haven't even sat down and read it yet, so I can't give you a review, and it won't be out on time, unfortunately. But yeah, if you got any questions, let me know in the chat and all that stuff. I'm happy to answer it. I'm up at the crack of dawn right now simply because I pretty much could not sleep for some odd reason. I don't know. I just couldn't sleep with everything that's gone on this past weekend and all that stuff. So let me post this to the group, and I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody is having a great day. Yeah. So, if you are a Patreon subscriber, I do apologize. Like I said, it's been a hell of a weekend. I do apologize, guys. I have not been able to update you guys. I haven't been able to put out content this past week, and yeah, yeah. I know my numbers have gone down on Patreon probably because this past week I haven't been able to put out content, and I understand. I do understand. I understand all that. Did I watch Doctor Strange? Yes, I did. I really enjoyed it. I really dug the hell out of Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange was I really like Doctor Strange because it kind of shied away from the typical Marvel formula that in certain aspects. Because at the end of the movie, you still have, and we're gonna get into a little bit of spoilers for Doctor Strange if you haven't seen it. And in the movie, you still have the typical Marvel finale where there's a giant hole in the sky and all that other stuff. But the way that Strange handles it is a lot better, in my opinion, than most of the other Marvel films because it's unique. The way that Strange defeats the main villain at the end of the film is unique. You know, he basically annoys the hell out of the main villain at the end of it, and that's how he beats him. You know, it's different. It's a little bit different. It kind of reminded me a little bit of how they handled the main villain in Guardians of the Galaxy, where they kind of didn't take necessarily a traditional route where it's going to be a smash bam, you know, punch your way out of this situation. So I really dug that. I really liked it. I really did like Doctor Strange. That was a lot of fun. It definitely seemed like it echoed a lot of the first original Iron Man film. I did get that vibe from it. You know, you still got the cocky, arrogant asshole guy at the beginning of the movie, and then he gets his comeuppance, he gets humbled and things like that. The only thing that's different is that I think Benedict Cumberbatch, in a way, he's able to capture kind of a different side of that coin because Tony Stark is still kind of an ass. And at the end of Doctor Strange, you can tell Doctor Strange he's still a bit of an arrogant guy, but he's definitely more humble than Tony Stark ever was. You pull my arm to delve into the Hellboy universe, which I know can be a new diction. Hellboy Library 1 on the way. Hey, congrats. Congrats, Superman. Hellboy, the library editions for Hellboy are some of the most prestigious and beautiful editions that are out there. They are gorgeous. They look amazing. They look great. I love them. I love the Hellboy library editions so much. Some of the other things, I liked Wong. Wong was freaking awesome. I really liked Wong in the Doctor Strange movie. He was really cool. I like the fact that they didn't just relegate him as to kind of like this librarian and kind of this bookkeeper and, you know, Strange's sidekick. He actually had an active role in the film, which is really cool. And it's really something that if you've seen or if you've read the recent Jason Aaron run, that's really what he's been doing with Wong. Wong is playing a lot more of an active role in the Jason Aaron series lately. And I've been digging that a lot. I like the fact that Wong is more into the series. He's more active. He has more of a crucial role because if you've ever read any Doctor Strange comics, nine times out of 10, wow, I'm really tired. 9 times out of 10, Wong is kind of just a sidekick character. He's somebody that is just relegated to kind of the background. You know, he's like, he's not that important. You know, he does his little thing here and there, but in the film, he's actually got a real cool moment. And how great was that moment when he was laughing? Oh my goodness, that was so great. I know a lot of you are heading out to work and all that other stuff, so. Let's see. What else? Any other questions, guys? What else? What else did I enjoy, Doctor Strange? Let me think. The comedy was a bit of a miss. I will say that. I didn't think the comedy was hit and miss, and I was actually kind of surprised because one of my favorite writers was actually the writer that worked on the film, C. Robert Cargill. He's a really, really strong and solid writer, and if you've ever read his books, he's actually really good at writing comedic scenes. And I thought, this is kind of a hit and miss. However, there are rumors that the reshoots that they had to do a few months ago were because the script or the original script was so heavy that they wanted to lighten the load a little bit. And there were a few moments where I was like, okay, you kind of crowbarred that little comedy bit in there. You had to throw it in because, you know, it's Marvel. Marvel has to have their little comedy moments. And this was actually kind of the first movie where I was starting to feel, in certain ways, the Marvel formula weighing down on me. And what I mean by that is that if you've ever seen a Marvel film, you know they have their own little formula. They have their own little way of going about all these films. And in certain ways, they have similarities. They all have similar beats to them. This was actually the first film that Marvel has done where I was like, you know, I'm kind of starting to feel the formula is starting to get a bit cliche, and I'm starting to feel like, okay, maybe it's time to change things up a little bit, you know. But Strange was good in the sense that it introduced us to new concepts and to the, you know, other universe and things like that. And they go the Thor route where they say basically what it is that magic, as we like to call it, is basically just science you don't understand. That's really what they're doing. They're playing with that concept. And I'm like, oh man, just go full magic. And I know they can't really because the Marvel universe has set up where it's kind of little bits of it are grounded so much in reality that if you go full magic, I think they're scared that you'll lose the audience. And it's like, wow, you guys have this, this, and this, but you've got full magic now. What the hell is that? So the way that they explain it is that they basically say that they are kind of like the mechanics of the universe. They're basically the mechanics of the universe, and that is how they are able to tap into the code. Essentially, it's like the Matrix. How Neo is able to tap into the code of the Matrix, and he's able to bend reality. Hey, Diego. Can I suggest any good Deadpool runs? Ooh, yeah, I get this a lot. Obviously, there is the classic Joe Kelly Deadpool run, which everybody is like, oh my gosh, everybody loves it. Yeah, everybody loves the Joe Kelly run. And in fact, Rob Liefeld gets a lot of credit for the character of Deadpool when I would actually argue Joe Kelly and Daniel Way are the writers that should be getting the most credit for it because they are the ones that really re-envisioned Deadpool, and they're the ones that actually made Deadpool what he is today. It wasn't Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld came up with the character, sure, but Deadpool as we know him today owes a lot to Joe Kelly. So you want to read that. You want to read Joe Kelly's run. The recent Brian Posehn run is really good. It's really funny, and it's a really interesting look at the character because what Brian Posehn tends to do is that he makes him the sad-faced clown. He makes him as the guy that he cracks jokes and all this other stuff, but then he gets into the soul of the character, and you realize that Deadpool's kind of a pathetic and sad character. It's kind of really sad, to be honest. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's a really good and fun run. In the first few issues, he fights zombie presidents. Like all the presidents in the Brian Posehn run, they decide to come up that are dead. They rise up from the grave, and Deadpool ends up fighting them. It's actually really fun. It's a really, really good ride all the way through. And there are a lot of these one-shot issues where Deadpool goes back in time. There's one that's like a blaxploitation issue. It's a really fun ride. So if you're looking for more of a modern-day take on Deadpool, the Brian Posehn run is really good. And I know they're coming out with an omnibus of that sometime next year, if I'm not mistaken. So I really recommend you check that out. But yeah, the two best runs that I say for people starting out with Deadpool that want the comedic, fun Deadpool is definitely the Joe Kelly run and the Brian Posehn run. Hands down. Those are great places to start with the character. Now, if you want Deadpool inserted into a comic a lot and he's part of a team, there's always Uncanny X-Force, which I think Rick Remender writes the best Deadpool that's ever been written. Uncanny X-Force, he's a huge part of the team. He's the heart of the team. I've talked about Uncanny X-Force to death on this channel. But yeah, definitely pick that up. All right, man, I got to go to school. Have a good day. You too. You too. Take care. Hey, what's up, Manga? How's it going? So yeah, I'm starting a new segment. It was supposed to go up today. Unfortunately, with like I've already said, all the craziness that has gone on this past weekend and me dealing with a very pressing family situation, I was not able to put it up today. But the new segment is called Manga Mondays, and that's right. I'm going to start to review mangas on Monday. The first manga that I'm going to review is actually, I have it in the mail. I haven't been able to read it at all because, like I said, I've been so super busy, is actually the first volume of Tokyo Ghoul. And then next week, well, Manga Monday will be pushed back to next week simply because everything that's going on right now, it's just been nuts. But that'll be pushed back till next week, and then the week after that should be the first volume of One Punch Man. So that's going to be fun. What do you think of The Amazing Screw-On Head? I've never read it. It's one of the few things by Mike Mignola that I have never had the pleasure of reading, and I want to. I've heard mixed things. I've heard it's really solid all the way through, but I've never gotten a chance to actually sit down and review it. So looking forward to that. Yeah, if you guys got any mangas that you recommend that I check out, absolutely throw it in the chat, and I will be happy to take a look at them. But yeah, next Monday will be Tokyo Ghoul. Then the following Monday after that will be One Punch Man, and then I don't know what I'm going to review after that. So if you guys got any recommendations, man, throw it in the chat. I was thinking about looking at Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, as a lot of you guys like to call. But I know there's like 37 volumes of that, and there's no way in hell that I can afford 37 volumes at the moment of Hunter x Hunter. Vineland Saga. That's one that I've heard a lot about. That's one that I've heard really a lot about. I mean, I've got the full run of Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm making my way through that slowly. I'm about 3 volumes into it out of 27, so it's a lot. But I'm really kind of gotten the manga bug lately. I've been wanting to read a lot of freaking manga. The anime is way better to go with Hunter x Hunter. Really? Attack on Titan. Man, there are so many people that have already reviewed Attack on Titan, but yeah, I could take a look at it. I know you're a big MMA fan. Are you excited for UFC 205 on Saturday? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've got Eddie Alvarez winning by submission. For those of you that are MMA fans. Monster Blade of the Immortal. Monster is awesome. I've read parts of Monster and it's really good, man. Oh, it's really good. So do you guys recommend that I read the manga for Hunter x Hunter? Or do you recommend that I watch the anime? That's my question. Because I just got a Crunchyroll account and I'm looking for something to watch. Is it even on there? I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not really sure. Who's excited for next week? Dragon Ball Super. Oh my gosh, Vegito. We are finally getting Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. Holy shit, that's going to be good. Oh my gosh. That's going to be so good. I'm so excited. Have you read the Lone Wolf and Cub manga? I have not. I actually haven't. For Violent Saga right now, there's only 7 volumes and an 8th coming out in December. Okay, I could do that. Yeah, that's not that bad. I could definitely do Violent Saga then. See, what I've heard of Hunter x Hunter, though, is that the series is great, but it takes a while to get into. The Gundam The Origin. You know, I used to have the Gundam The Origin hardcovers for a while now, and I ended up selling them off. But they are gorgeous. The Gundam Origin hardcovers are absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I can't believe they spoiled Vegito in the previews. What the hell? Wow. That would have been such a great big reveal. They've been spoiling a lot of stuff in the previews. I think the only thing that they've been able to keep quiet as far as Dragon Ball Super goes in the previews has been the Kaioken event, where Goku went Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and everybody lost their shit. But how great would that have been if you're watching Dragon Ball Super and all of a sudden you see them fuse and like, oh my gosh! But they spoiled it in the previews, and fans were kind of expecting it. You know, the fans were like, yeah, you know, it's gotta happen. You know, because Zamasu fused with Black, so it's like, you know, the only way they're going to be able to handle this type of situation if they fuse themselves. I'm more curious to see how they're going to split them. They're going to have to do some weird like contrived plot device or something like that in order to split them. Because if you use the Potara earrings, you can't split. You're fused completely. You know. Any other mangas is greatly appreciated. I was thinking about looking into what else have I been dying to read as far as manga goes. Vinland Saga, I've heard great things. Berserk, I've been dying to read Berserk. However, I know the volumes are ridiculously hard. I looked on eBay. The entire run of Berserk for manga goes for probably about almost $1,000. I'm like, you guys are nuts. Why is it so much? Is it because a lot of it is out of print at this point? There's just absolutely no reason for that for Berserk to be like that, you know, crazy and expensive. The art in the first volume of Hunter x Hunter is not so great. Okay, yeah. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. I'm really tired. Like I said, for those of you that have gotten in here early, I have not had the chance to sleep much over the past weekend and all that stuff, so I'm still pretty like exhausted. Last night was the first night that in probably 4 days that I was able to get a good night worth of sleep. So, Screw on Head is great. It won an Eisner for comedy publication back in 2003. The hardcover with a bunch of other short stories is a must. Now, is Screw on Head, I haven't looked too much into it. Is Screw on Head a comic or is Screw on Head an actual full prose novel? Because I've heard that it's a prose novel, but I'm not entirely sure what's the deal with that. Bakuman is a great manga if you want something more lighthearted. Yeah, guys, I'm in the mood for something a little bit lighthearted. I've been dealing with some, well, not just me, but we've been dealing with some rough shit in the past week, and I'm definitely in the mood for something a bit more lighthearted. So, like, I was reading Full Metal Alchemist the other day, and for those of you that have ever read Full Metal Alchemist, I got to the part with the Chimera and the father, and I was like, yeah, I don't need this right now, and I just put it down. And I was like, yeah, I'll read something else because I really need something uplifting right now. Bakuman is, oh, it's written by the author of Death Note. Ooh, you got me there. I love Death Note. Death Note is really good. Yatsuba is a great manga series. Awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out. I really want to read Akira. Oh my goodness, Akira is great, and I want to read it simply because I've heard that the manga, about halfway through the manga, is where the movie actually ends, and then the manga diverges really far out, like really crazy, and the power level scale in the manga is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I think I heard somewhere that Tetsuo, man, I'm blanking on the bad guy right now. It was either Tetsuo. Tetsuo was the bad guy, right? Anyway, Tetsuo, if I'm not mistaken, is the bad guy. It's been so long since I've read or watched Akira. He actually blows a hole in the moon. That is how crazy powerful the characters get inside of it. Bakuman has a nice box set. Okay, all right. I'm all into box sets right now. Honestly, if I don't want to spend an arm and a leg to get a whole bunch of manga simply because we are money conscious right now, I've been wanting to read Naruto. You know, I've never seen an episode of Naruto or read the manga. I've been wanting to read it for the longest time, and I know there's box sets out there. There's like 76 volumes of Naruto, and right now I can't afford it right now. So I know a lot of you guys would get a kick out of it if I reviewed Naruto. I know my geek credibility just like went out the door with a lot of you out there. He's like, he's never read Naruto. He's never watched an episode of Naruto. How the hell is he never? I'm like, yeah, I just never got a chance to watching it or reading it. I've heard great things. I've heard really great things. That same deal with Sword Art Online. I've heard wow, I can't talk right now. Sword Art Online is really good. Really, there's an animated series, and Paul Giamatti and Patton Oswalt did voices for Screw-On Head. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Let's see what the Bakuman box set is going for. Let's take a quick look on the old eBay. Oh, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is already $50. Bakuman box sets. That's not bad. No, it's going for about 135. Volume 1 through 20. Yeah, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. I could see myself ponying up for that. Not right now, obviously, but sometime in the future, yeah, I could definitely see myself ponying up for it. Yeah, I was supposed to do a preview video of this bad boy. Because I ended up getting this the other day. Morning, Jay. Like this huge Full Metal Alchemist box set. I got it for like 100 bones. And it's kind of unwieldy. And I have no place where to put it. I think it's really cool. Looks really good. So, been making my way through that. I talked to Manga about it, Manga McFly. Real cool dude. And I asked him about it, and I was like, what do you think if I get this? He says, it's a great deal. So I ended up picking it up. It was a really solid deal. Now I've got all of Full Metal Alchemist. I was actually playing with the idea of reviewing one volume per week, but then I realized that would probably get really stale for a lot of you guys out there. I would go through one volume of Full Metal Alchemist every single week and give you my thoughts on it in a video, and that would be Manga Monday. But then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? There's so much manga out there that if I just buy like one volume of a different manga every single week, I could do that instead. And then just keep going with from there. 27 volumes, Diego. There's 27 volumes, and it contains the full run of Full Metal Alchemist, what I consider to be one of the best animes of all time. Granted, I still have not seen Cowboy Bebop. I know a lot of you out there will be like, how the hell have you never seen Cowboy Bebop? You are crazy. It is one of the best mangas, not manga, it's one of the best animes ever, but I have never sat down and seen it. And I have Crunchyroll. I'm going to sit down and actually probably start watching that today, me and my fiance, since, yeah, we're probably not going to be doing much. She has to go to the doctor today, so. There's only a pilot for Screw On Head. That's a shame. Yeah, there's only a pilot for Screw On Head. Paul Giamatti was actually part of the Goon animated series that they were working on. It was not going to be a series. It was going to be a Goon movie. And there is actually not a pilot, but there's a test video out there that you can look up on YouTube where you see Goon movie and you can find it. And it's really, really good. And it's a shame that it never really got off the ground. It was supposed to be kind of like a Pixar animated style, but it never got backed by anybody. Unfortunately, they couldn't. No studio wanted to back an R-rated 3D comedy. Basically, that's messed up. You know, it's a shame, is what it is. Yatsuba are great. Bakuman and Yatsuba are great, lighthearted series. Huh. What about Naruto? I really want to get into Naruto for some reason. Like, everybody's been telling me, everybody's been hyping it up. They're like, oh man, you got to read Naruto. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And One Piece, that too. Everybody's like, you got to read One Piece and Naruto. Naruto box set manga. I wonder what they're going for on eBay right now. Oh my sweet, $400 for all 3 box sets. Wow, that's crazy. By the way, Cowboy Bebop is one of my favorite anime, where the English dub is preferred. I've heard that. I'm about to start reading Y the Last Man, as I've heard great things. What would you recommend I read after? Invincible or Deadly Class? If you want a quick read after, I'd recommend Deadly Class, simply because there's only about 22 issues currently right now, if I'm not mistaken, 22, 23 issues. So check that out. Deadly Class is easy to get through. It's really great. It's really fast-paced. And then jump into Invincible. Invincible's really fun, but it gets really bloody. Hopefully with Deadpool and Sausage Party doing well, maybe they will give Goon a second chance. I hope so. I really do. I think there's definitely a market out there for the R-rated kind of 3D Pixar-style comedy. I think there really is. And it's a shame that nobody's taking a chance on them. Amazon restocked the Cowboy Bebop limited edition Blu-ray DVD. I had to scoop it up. Yeah, definitely. They just put Cowboy Bebop on Crunchyroll, so I'm just gonna watch it on Crunchyroll. Although, like I said, I love the music. I love the music of Cowboy Bebop. I've heard some of the score on it, and it's, oh my goodness, Cowboy Bebop's music is so good. It's so great. I'm a big fan of jazz music, and oh my gosh, it's such a great score. So I'll probably be on for about another 10 minutes, guys. Like I said, we've got a doctor's appointment tonight that we've got to go to. So Amazon didn't know about the Goon. We'll look that up. Definitely look that up about the Goon, man. I think you will enjoy it, and it shows so much promise. Did I ever watch the Lock and Key pilot they made? No. Nobody has seen the Lock and Key pilot except for a few lucky 100 people that were at San Diego Comic-Con that year when they screened it. For those of you that don't know, Lock and Key was originally going to be a TV series on Fox. They made a pilot. They have a trailer out. You can still look for the trailer online. You can type in Lock and Key trailer, and it's there. But it never got off the ground. It never made it past the pilot. And they screened the pilot at San Diego Comic-Con in hopes that it would generate enough buzz for the series that Fox would actually turn their mind around and decide to pick it up. And they tried to give the pilot to FX, and they tried to give the pilot to HBO and all these other places, but nobody picked it up. So the show never got off the ground. But there is a pilot for it somewhere in Hollywood in like a giant vault. There's a pilot for it. And a few hundred people at San Diego Comic-Con were fortunate enough to actually watch it. What I've heard of the pilot for Lock and Key is that they actually took the first 6 issues, which is basically the first volume of Lock and Key, and condensed it into one 1 hour pilot. I heard that and I was thinking, that's interesting, but you're already kind of cutting yourself at the knees because you were already cut off like 20% of your content. Because Lock and Key is not that long of a series. There's only about 5 volumes out. So by them condensing 1 volume into 1 episode, you're like, what the hell are you going to do for the rest of the series? Yeah, they instead of Lock and Key, I think they went with that Stephen Lang show. I think it was called like Terra Nova or some crap like that. And it only lasted like 6 episodes. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Stephen Lang fan. Stephen Lang is awesome. He was great in Don't Breathe. But, you know, they shot themselves in the foot with that. Do I know anything about any good alternatives for in-stock trades for Europeans? I am sorry, I do not, guys. I apologize. I wish I could help you out there. I don't know anything. I've heard Amazon is probably like the best alternative for you guys. That's the only thing that I've ever heard of. Do you know when the reprint of Fear Agent Library Edition Volume 2 will be coming out? No, I do not. Rick Remender, I'm pretty sure, has said on Twitter, though, that there will be a reprint, and it will be in the near future, so don't go out there paying ridiculous prices for it. Dark Horse is usually pretty good about keeping their library editions in stock. If I'm not mistaken, I think Remender said maybe sometime in December, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, fingers crossed that happens. I love my library editions. I wouldn't give up my library editions of the Fear Agent. They are beautiful. Lock and Key is another one I badly want to read. That before Deadly Class, there's too much. No, drop everything and read Lock and Key. Absolutely, dude. Drop everything you are doing. And in fact, I'm about to actually start, because I have all 3 library editions, and I'm about to start probably my 4th reread of Lock and Key. I love Lock and Key. Lock and Key is a series that I go about once or twice every year, and I read it. And I absolutely love it, though. Gotta go. Time for. Oh, enjoy, man. Enjoy the snow. Hey, how's it going, Wyatt? But yeah, read Lock and Key, man. Lock and Key is so damn great. It is such a fun little series. I love it. I love Lock and Key. Yeah, Yatsuba is about a little girl going through her daily life. It's hilarious. I don't like Naruto, maybe someday, but One Piece is one of my favorites. Here's the thing about One Piece and Bleach. There are so many volumes out there, I feel like I can never catch up. And the thing is that I know Naruto wrapped up. Wait, it did wrap up? I'm pretty sure it did wrap up. The manga wrapped up, so I'm able to actually kind of sit down, buy the box sets, and go, okay, I can read this, and this, and I'll be good to go. And I don't know anything about Naruto, believe it or not. I have no clue. I don't know the first thing about Naruto, so I'm actually excited to kind of dive into that world. I know my cousin is a huge fan, and I know he said it's really interesting to see the kids grow up from like childhood to pretty much adults to where they have their own kids and things like that. So it's definitely a saga that I'm looking forward to. No, I haven't seen the last episode of The Walking Dead, guys. For those of you that are just joining, it's been a hell of a week. If you saw I have said this already twice, but if you saw the live stream, you know I had to leave the live stream. I had to deal with a family situation, and I've been dealing with my family, and I have been dealing with that all weekend long, and it's been kind of crazy. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I haven't been able to update the channel. I haven't been able to do much in terms of videos and things like that because of that. So I haven't even watched The Walking Dead. I literally got home last night for the first time in about 3 days. And I was able to sleep in my own bed last night for the first time in 3 days last night. The Fear Agent books look so good on the shelf. Oh yeah, they do. Do I have a favorite board game? Yes. Does Cards Against Humanity count as a board game? Does it? I'm not entirely sure if it does. Because I love Cards Against Humanity. Cards Against Humanity and Super Fight are great little card games. They're fun. Yeah, where is it snowing right? Is it snowing in New York? I thought I heard that it was snowing in New York. Okay, guys, I'll be on for probably like another 5 minutes. I have to whip up some breakfast, and then we got to head out to the hospital. Candyland forever. Yeah. I never played a game of Candyland. And I've never finished a game of Monopoly. True story. I've never, not once in my life have I ever finished a game of Monopoly. Although Monopoly gets violent. It does get violent. I will say that. Hello from Mauritius, from the other side of the world. Oh, that's cool. Now, excuse my ignorance. You're gonna have to excuse my ignorance, but I'm not entirely sure what continent that falls on. Yes, I have played D&D. I had a campaign for D&D going with my family for a while, actually, with me, my friends, and like a whole bunch of other people. We had one going on last year for the better part of about 6 months, and we never finished the campaign. We want to restart a campaign. We really do. And in fact, I was even thinking about doing like a live recording of us playing a campaign. In the middle of the Indian Ocean. Oh, cool. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I'm always humbled by people who like they find this channel through whatever means and like, oh man, it's awesome. And it still blows my mind that we have people from all over the world, like I said last week, that are on this channel. And they check out the stuff that I do. Because like I've always said, I'm just some jackass that puts out YouTube videos that for some reason people tend to like. Yeah? Okay. So I think with that, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, I've got a lot going on right now. Content-wise, this week, I'm gonna be upfront with you guys and tell you, content-wise, this week, I'm going to I'm gonna have some things ready, and I'm gonna put some things out there because I've already pre-recorded some things like the Superman American Alien. But this week, don't expect too much in terms of content because yeah, we're dealing with a lot of things here. But I'll try to get some things up as the week goes on. But yeah, check out my other stuff, guys. Check out my Patreon. If you can donate, guys, it's really greatly appreciated. The donations have gone down. I understand it's Christmas, but if they keep going down, then I'm gonna have to find a second job, and then content-wise, I won't be able to update as much and things like that. Yada yada yada. You basically know the deal. So for as little as $1 a month, you get some exclusive content, guys. And really, $1, it's like the price of a cheeseburger. I could really use it right now, especially with doctor's visits and things like that coming up. So, but thank you guys so much for checking out this channel. I love you. Thank you guys. You guys are all awesome. And I will see you around sometime this week. Bye.